Gold. For as long as human hands have shaped tools, built temples, and crowned rulers, gold has been the metal that outshone all others. It does not rust, it does not tarnish, and it has a beauty that seems untouched by time. Civilizations have risen and fallen on its promise, from the treasures of the pharaohs to the gold coins that fueled the Roman Empire. But while the centuries have passed, our fascination has not dimmed. In the 21st century, the fever for gold burns as fiercely as it did in the goldfields of California in 1849 or the icy rivers of the Klondike in 1896. The difference now is scale, reach, and technology. The modern gold rush spans continents, is powered by satellites and supercomputers, and is still driven by the oldest of human impulses: wealth, security, and the intoxicating hope of striking it rich. Gold's value is not just in its beauty. It is rare, far rarer than the metals we use every day. It resists corrosion, making it eternal in appearance. And for thousands of years, it has symbolized power, prestige, and stability. In modern economies, it plays another role. It is a hedge, a shield against the storms of inflation, currency collapse, and political upheaval. In recent years, demand has surged. Central banks from China to Turkey have quietly expanded their reserves. Investors have turned to it as a safe haven when markets tremble. And each time the price rises, a new chapter of the rush begins. Marginal deposits, once too costly to mine, suddenly become profitable. Whispers spread across remote towns and rural valleys. They have found gold, and the fever catches again. The new gold rush is not confined to a single place. It is a global hunt. In West Africa, nations like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Ghana have become modern gold frontiers, with artisanal miners working alongside multinational corporations. In the Amazon basin, small-scale and often illegal miners dredge jungle rivers for flakes of gold, leaving behind scarred waterways. In Russia's Far East and in Siberia, gold is mined under brutal sub-zero temperatures by massive industrial operations. The Australian outback still yields rich veins, worked both by giant open-pit mines and lone prospectors staking claims in the heat. And in Canada's Yukon and Nunavut, companies gamble on deposits buried beneath frozen wilderness, accessible only by air or seasonal ice roads. Modern geology and remote sensing can detect what was once invisible, turning barren-looking landscapes into the next hotbed of activity. Gone are the days when prospectors followed rivers and searched for a glint in the water. Today, the rush begins in laboratories and control rooms. Mining companies map mineral-rich zones using advanced satellite imaging, capable of detecting subtle differences in rock composition long before a single shovel of earth is moved. Farmonaut's satellite-based mineral detection technology has taken this a step further, allowing exploration teams to pinpoint potential gold-bearing zones with unprecedented accuracy. By analyzing hyperspectral and multispectral data, Farmonaut identifies geological signatures that traditional surveys might miss, saving both time and resources. Its work spans multiple continents, from the deserts of Africa to the remote tundra of the Arctic, helping mining operations focus their efforts where the Earth is most likely to yield its treasure. When a site shows promise, the transformation is swift. Roads are cut into wilderness, machinery arrives in convoys, camps are built with workshops, fuel depots, and living quarters, excavators bite into the earth, crushers reduce rock to dust, and chemical leaching, often with cyanide, draws the gold out. A single modern mine can produce in 1 year more gold than the entire Klondike rush yielded over its lifetime. But even in this age of satellites, the heartbeat of gold mining remains deeply human. Millions of artisanal miners work the earth with simple tools: shovels, hammers, and pans. They wade into rivers, dig into hillsides, and crush stone by hand. In West Africa, they work on the fringes of regulation. In the Amazon, they vanish into the jungle for weeks, returning with whatever gold they can carry. In Mongolia, ninja miners, named for the green pans they strap to their backs, slip into abandoned shafts under cover of darkness. For these miners, gold is not an investment or a portfolio asset. It is survival. A gram or two can mean a week's food, school fees for a child, or a small step out of debt. At the other end of the spectrum are the corporate giants: Barrick Gold, Newmont, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Polyus, and others. These are operations that move mountains, literally. A single industrial mine might employ thousands: heavy equipment operators, metallurgists, environmental scientists, medics, and security teams. The logistics are staggering. Constant shipments of fuel, food, and spare parts, water management to keep operations running, precise monitoring of ore quality every step of the way. These corporations also navigate political landscapes. In stable regions, contracts and laws offer predictability. In volatile areas, mines face risks from sudden policy changes, community unrest, or even armed groups seeking control over the resource. Yet the wealth of gold comes with a heavy price. Small-scale miners often use mercury, which binds with gold but poisons rivers and fish. Cyanide spills from industrial sites can devastate entire ecosystems. Forests are cleared. Indigenous lands are encroached upon. Landscapes once untouched are scarred for generations. In some regions, gold fuels conflict. Rebel groups seize control of mining zones to finance war. Corruption seeps into local governments with bribes exchanged for permits or silence. Communities that see short-term jobs may be left with nothing but poisoned soil when the gold is gone. From mine to market, gold moves through a vast, often opaque network. Refineries purify it to near-perfect fineness. Some becomes jewelry in India, Turkey, and Italy. Some is shaped into micro-components for electronics, spacecraft, and medical devices. Much ends in vaults, guarded reserves for nations and private investors. A single ingot might be mined in Mali, refined in Switzerland, sold in Dubai, worn in New York, and resold in Hong Kong. Along this chain, origins blur, and with them, the distinction between responsibly mined gold and that from destructive or illegal operations. Faced with criticism, parts of the industry are adapting. Some companies pledge to produce responsible gold, minimizing environmental harm, ensuring fair wages, and tracking origins. Closed-loop water systems, cyanide detoxification, and renewable power are becoming test cases. Farmonaut, too, plays a role here, not just in locating gold deposits, but in enabling more targeted and less environmentally invasive exploration. By narrowing search areas and avoiding unnecessary land disturbance, Farmonaut's technology helps reduce the footprint of mining before it even begins. Governments are stepping in as well. Peru and Ghana are formalizing artisanal mining with licensing and mercury bans. International bodies like the Responsible Jewelry Council are setting voluntary standards to guide the industry toward sustainability. The value of gold dances to the tune of global events: wars, recessions, currency swings. A sudden price surge can bring dormant mines roaring back to life. A collapse can leave whole towns abandoned. For investors, gold is a hedge. For miners, it is bread on the table. For nations rich in deposits, it is a bargaining chip in the global economy. But in all cases, it carries risk, because the same uncertainty that drives its price up can just as easily send it crashing down. The fever will not fade soon. With global populations growing and uncertainty ever present, demand for gold will stay strong. But the nature of the hunt is changing. Mines will go deeper and operate in harsher conditions. Environmental rules will tighten. Recycling will grow in importance, pulling gold from old electronics and scrap. Transparency will matter more to buyers. forcing the supply chain into the open. And satellite-based mineral detection, pioneered by companies like Farmonaut, will shape the future, making exploration faster, smarter, and more responsible. Gold has outlasted empires and weathered every age. It remains not just a metal, but a story, a promise, and a dream. And like all dreams, it has a cost. Gold. It glitters in our hands, in our economies, and in our imagination. But its true weight is measured not in ounces, but in the price the world pays to possess it.